Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Welcome back to another episode of The Issue Live. I'm your host, L. How's everybody doing today? I know it's been a while since last time we've been in the studio. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Hope everybody's summer's going well. I know the world is on fire right now. Who the fuck cares? We still here. So with that being said, let's jump into today's episode. So Pennsylvania's school district is coming under fire for sending letters to parents demanding that they pay their school lunch debt or having risked their children being put into foster care. I ain't messing around today. Well, I remember if this would have been me, my mom would have been in jail a long time ago. This is crazy. You how you used to watch Family Guy? Don't you remember that episode when Stewie was pressing Brian for his money? Like,
give me my money, man.
You yeah, you got my money? You got my money? That's crazy. I mean, it's sad. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to laugh because I mean, I'm sure this probably affected somebody pretty negatively. But fuck, bro. Like, foster care? You gonna threaten your kids? Threaten these parents with foster care to send their kids to foster care over a lunch debt over $75?
I mean, shit.
You might as well be loan sharking. They sound like the mob. Like, I'm gonna fucking cut your legs off. You give me my goddamn money.
I wonder how many parents are not gonna pay.
Honestly, the school send me some shit like this, I'm gonna pay just off of principle. I'm not gonna pay just off of principle. You ain't finna bully me talking about pay your debt or I'm gonna send your child to foster care. All right, try me. I dare you. That's just crazy. Who does that? Bully some parent into paying the kids a lunch debt over foster care. Yeah. Like, how do you even think you have enough authority to do something like that?
Yeah.
It's fucking nonsense. Who's this, Pennsylvania? Yeah. Backwards redneck country, sounds like. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. The news just gets better day by day. So, Berkeley City Council eliminates gender preference language from its municipal code. Because, you know, that's on the top of their to-do list. Making sure the municipal code is up to political correctness standards. Who reported this to? Oh, I think I cut it off. Oh well. Even I think it's ABC. ABC reported this. Even the fact that ABC would report this, and as if it's something we all need to take serious and be paying attention to, as if this actually does something for us in the world.
So, other than a manhole, what other names are they thinking about changing? What can you change?
Oh man. I mean,
is that the only thing? Like,
I don't know. And what would you change it to? You know, fucking cement hole. What are you gonna turn it to? Fucking a black hole? I wish you would. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you start going down this path of ridiculousness, and where does it end? Like, who's the moral judge when it came to this? Like, yeah, those fucking manholes. They need to change the name of that. All the oppression that causes. Who spends their day, like, who saw this and was like, who was going, I want to know who was going through their spreadsheet of everything that was on their itinerary and was like, that's it right there. This is my cause. Gotta make sure I take a stand against this. Some bullshit. Manholes. It's 2019. Alright? We don't use gender specific terms, even though we're all gender specific. Whatever, bro. It's enough of that bullshit. Let's go to our next topic. God damn it, Javi. If you said we went over this last episode that we didn't need 20 of you motherfuckers up there. Alright? And then who dropped out? Eric Swalwell dropped out. I'm sure of all of these faces you'll recognize exactly who that is. But so we had one drop out and some other loser come back, some other loser joined the council. I don't even know his name. He's I can't really show you. He's on the top row, fourth one on the right. That's the new guy who we haven't seen through the other candidates. If you didn't see last episode, I suggest you watch it. It was a really good one. But we went through all these candidates and basically went through who were serious contenders and who were. And we narrowed it down to 8. And so of those 8, the same 8 are up. And one, Eric Swalwell, has dropped out and another one has came in. I think his name is like Eric Bennett. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But, that's the point. Is like, there's no point for you to be there. You're an irrelevant person. All you're doing is just making it harder for any real serious candidate to get their voices heard. Especially with the whole production of the show, because it is a show. Don't get it mistaken. All right, it's supposed to be something that's taken serious, but it's just a show. It's a big spectacle, and whether it's put on by the Democratic National Committee or by NBC, who produces it, I mean, it's just a big show, and it's annoying. It should be on it should be on public television. It should be on C-SPAN, and it shouldn't have any commercials. It shouldn't be ads. It shouldn't be any ads profiting off of this debate. This is serious business that we're trying to do, and you creating this whole show and spectacle of it all. It's annoying and ridiculous, and I'm tired of it. I just want to see the real candidates go up there and talk about real issues.
How much time do you think is wasted off with that time? Running through and stopping the show and running ads?
I know, like, say you, in regular television, right? So say you have an hour program, 45 minutes of it is actual program. So you have 15 minutes of it that's just commercials and advertising. And then what makes it worse for something like this is not only do you have, so let's say this is an hour and a half, right? No, I think it's 2 hours. They're 2 hours long, so about an hour and a half of it. So an hour and a half of it's only going to be debate. So you're going to have 30 minutes of advertisement, and then you're going to knock off another 15 minutes collectively off of like the crowd and interruptions and other things like that. So of a 2 hour long special or 2 hours of actual debate, you're really getting an hour and 15 minutes. And of those, in that hour and 15 minutes, each person is supposed to talk for a minute at a time.
When you got 20 people.
Well, they split it up, right? So it's going to be 10 and 10, but it's pointless to have that many people on the stage. None of whom nobody is really different from much different from anybody else. You have your stars, right? You had your Bernie, who's a star. Elizabeth Warren, you can consider a star. Joe Biden, even though he fucking tanked in the last debate. And then you have the surrounding guys who are basically going to be competing for that type of stardom, right? Your Kamala Harris, who made a good point for herself. Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Buttigieg, Julian Castro. These guys are who are making a strong name for themselves, but they're not quite the stars that I would say the top 3, Bernie, Elizabeth, and Joe Biden are. And if you just, like I said, just serious contenders like Beto, you're not a serious contender. Get out of here. Gillibrand, Tim Ryan, like you guys, John Hickenlooper. Like, there's no point for any of you guys to be here. All right, do us all a favor and just drop out, please. So that's how I see it. Getting on to our next topic, we have so there's no signs. This is another thing that the actual news of this, right, isn't the most concerning thing about it. The sign that there's no sign that United States and Russia will extend any major arms control treaty, right? And I know that sounds bad, but United States and Russia have, to this day, plenty of nukes to wipe out the whole world. The idea of them not renewing some nuclear arms treaty to, really doesn't matter. United States and Russia have plenty and then some to destroy our entire planet when it comes to nukes. So the idea that there's not going to be a treaty controlling how many more that they make or have doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're going to keep as many as they both want, and push comes to shove, if that ever does happen, where we get pushed into a nuclear war with any country, whether it's Russia or one of their allies or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take 400 nukes to destroy the planet. It takes like 15, something like that. Don't quote me, but it's somewhere around that number, realistically, like 15 nukes. And between the United States, Russia, and even all the other countries that have nukes, it doesn't matter. Like, if we go into a nuclear war, our the whole world is basically over with. So I see this honestly more as fear mongering, to be honest. People like CNN and especially MSNBC, they can't talk without mentioning something that has to do with Russia. And I feel like these are the things that stoke people and start to ease people into war and make it more and more okay for people to want to be to go into war. Because when you're getting fed stuff like this, right, little fear tactics here and there, a little, oh, they're affecting us here, they're affecting us there, oh, we don't have a treaty, no, they're gonna start making a lot of nukes now, and we're all gonna be in more danger. Like, stop it. Like, the world has enough nukes to destroy the planet, regardless of whatever treaty anybody comes up with. Don't get it mistaken. So be careful when you hear stuff like this. Just be careful and don't let it scare you or get you in some type of hysteria to where you feel like we need to take action towards these countries or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, it honestly, it does not matter. It doesn't. So with that being said, our next topic, which does matter, is that the Iran has captured a British oil tanker in the Gulf of Hormuz. And the problem with this story is, again, how it's presented to you. They're presenting this to you in a way that it's like Iran is provoking a war with America, and they're doing their best to try to get us at war. And it's like, I think we have a video of the actual season. Now, Iran took.
We actually don't have that.
Oh, we don't have the video? It's fine.
We replaced it.
Oh, we did replace it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I thought I had it. It's fine. We don't have the video, but the problem is, right, when you run the story, that what they're not telling you is that just, I think maybe 30 days earlier, when this happened, Britain captured an Iranian vessel. And it's like, we keep trying to act like it's Iran provoking us to war, and we do this to every country around the world. We're like the little brother, like, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, or I'm not touching you. And when they slap you, and somebody slaps us across the head, it's like, oh, you run and go tell mom, and she go whoop your brother's ass. And that's how fucking war starts. It's so ridiculous. We do this over and over. We've done this to literally every country that we've ever been to war in. We've literally done this. We portray it as if it's them provoking the United States. Like, the idea that even if it's a poor country or not as not well infrastructured country, not a modern country, as modern country as the United States, I should say. The idea that these countries will willingly provoke America into a war is so fucking ridiculous and so stupid. And these are the things that happen, the way the news portrays Iran as far as them provoking a war with us. It's like, no, first we bullshit about our oil tanker being attacked by Iran, which did not happen, which we did not happen. If anything, I would assume it's Saudi Arabia, trying to stoke issues and cause problems in that area, so then it exacerbates the situation between the United States and Iran. And then we fly a drone over their airspace, and then it's, oh, Iran shoots down American drone. It's like, yeah, flying over their country. Like, what are we talking about here? This isn't Iran aggression. What the fact that we're in the Gulf of Hormuz in the first place? We're purposely there just for things like this to happen, just so it gives us more and more reason. Throw it out to the media, and you give it to the people, and they soak it up even more and anger them, and it just drives and perpetuates this military machine, that military industrial complex that leaves us in the never-ending cycle of war, and it's an ongoing story. Again, Iran captured the British tanker after Britain captured one of their oil tankers. And the way they see it is like, you're not going to muscle me around in my own neighborhood. I understand you're America. I understand you're the most powerful country in the world. But what you're not going to do is slap me around like I'm some kind of chump. And that's reasonable. Like, we talk about anti-bullying in this country all the fucking time. But we go around every country, bully them. And then not just bully them, beat their ass, wipe their whole country, destroy their whole infrastructure, destroy whole countries. Libya, one of the most modern nations in the world, gone. Afghanistan, gone. Iraq, gone. It's what more do you want from these people? It's so ridiculous, and it's a never-ending story, and we go through it over and over again. I'm trying to tell you guys, so when you see stuff like this in the news, don't let it fool you. America is 100% the aggressor. Javi, imagine Iran parking a fucking what do they call those? An aircraft carrier in fucking Miami Beach somewhere. Like, like, it's so ridiculous. And the idea that we have to have this aggression toward these countries, or we're not going to be safe here in America, is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. It gets tiring. Why do we have to involve ourselves over and over again? Over and over again. It never stops, bro. It never stops. Man. So, like I said, you guys, be careful when you hear stories like this. Make sure you do real research when it comes down to it. Don't let the media influence you into thinking that a war or anything like this would be a good thing to go at, because I promise you, a war with Iran would be 100 times worse than any other war we have been in. I promise. Yes, we probably will end up decimating him, but the American cost will be greater, the financial cost will be greater, and the implications that it'll have on the rest of the region will be vastly greater, much greater. And that's not something. It's just going to cause a bigger problem in the end. So with that being said, let's move on to hot takes. We have one hot take for today that comes from Leisha Bay. Ooh, female viewage. That's what I'm talking about. So, at Leisha Bay on Instagram says, "What do you think about Trump's racist tweets telling Congress women to go back to their countries even though they are American citizens?" This is my thing, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. There's a reason why on this show I don't talk a lot about Trump. And it's because I don't want to talk about Trump. I really don't. I can't stand these other news outlets and mainstream media that they complain about Trump so much. But if anything, he's the best thing that ever fucking happened to him, because they don't stop talking about him ever. All they talk about is dumbass tweets 3:30 in the morning when he's on the fucking toilet. It's so annoying. I can't stand it. So there's a reason why I typically steer away from Trump stories, because I can't fucking stand it. I don't want this show to wrap around him. I don't want this show to revolve around him. I don't want this show to be because of him. So yes, the shit that he says is terrible. I mean, I don't get surprised when white men say racist shit. Like, I don't understand how people get so upset. Like, of course he said that. It's fucking Donald Trump. He's a racist white man. What do you expect? Like, is that supposed to be so? Oh my God, he said, oh my God. Oh my God, he said what?
You could only get, I mean, if you keep saying it over and over, you keep saying crazy racist shit over and over,
yeah,
you can't keep getting shot.
Like, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do? What is anybody gonna do? He's the fucking president. We knew this about him before he became president, and he still became president. Like, and you want, and now this the outrage over every fucking tweet that he says. That he says some dumb shit. The man can barely even fucking spell. And I'm supposed to be mad about some dumbass tweet that he say. And I get it. It hurts people's feelings. There was one time, right? I was in traffic one day, and it was an Arabic dude. This is a true story. Arabic dude. I'm in the car with my wife and kids. In the car, I think we're on the way to the supermarket, buy some groceries, and this guy in front of me is driving me like an idiot. And I honk at him, right? So this guy stops short of the light, rolls his window down, reaches his head back out the car and starts talking shit to me, and then he tells me, go back to Mexico. And and I'm like, I was hurt so bad, like what? I'm not even Mexican. And this Arabic dude with an accent gonna tell me to go back to Mexico. I wanted to jump out on that motherfucker right then and there. Like, you bitch, you lucky I got my kids in the car. Gonna tell me to go back to Mexico. True story. True fucking story. So, I hope that answers your question, Leisha Bay. You know, it's terrible, it sucks, but I mean, he's a racist fucking white man, you know? I'm never gonna be surprised about what any racist shit that some white man says. You know, it's expected. You know, it's expected. I don't want to say it's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal to be racist. You know, but it's expected. So, I hope everybody's having fun today. I certainly am, feeling good. So, with that being said, let's get on to our main story for tonight. So, my main story tonight is on Antifa. Now, if you're not familiar with Antifa, they are a far-left activist group opposing fascism. And if you take their name and purpose for face value, it doesn't seem so bad. But here on the issue live, we don't take shit for face value. So let's dig into Antifa and see what it is that they actually do. Now, we can trace the beginnings of Antifa to the fascist movement, to the anti-fascist movement back in the 1930s, when Benito Mussolini consolidated his power through his National Fascist Party, and from there grew an opposition for fascism through Italy, the United States, and Germany. Now, given the social and political climate at the time, given the social and political climate in the 1930s, an anti-fascist movement was understandable. But let's not get them confused with the modern day version of Antifa. Now, today's version of Antifa is rooted in the ARA, or the Anti-Racist Action, who in the 1980s and 90s would go to punk rock shows and try to prevent neo-Nazis and Klansmen from recruiting. And again, at face value, doesn't seem like it's such a bad idea. But let's get into how they achieved this supposed oppression of fascism. First off, this is not an organized group. Meaning there is no stated leader. Meaning there is no stated leader or leadership hierarchy from top to bottom. There's no membership. They have groups who operate independently and organize protests through email groups and social media. Now, their goal is to stop, silence, or eradicate any person or group they either don't like or agree with through violence and intimidation, ironically becoming the very thing they claim to be against. Now, as recent as last month, Antifa attacked the journalist Andy Ngo for basically just being someone they either don't like, going as far as to call an openly gay Asian man a Nazi sympathizer, and an alt-right journalist. But besides the attack, there's something a bit more strange about the situation, about how the situation unfolded. Now, the attack took place in Portland, which strangely enough lets Antifa operate with impunity. The idea that a group of people wearing masks attacking journalists and getting into fights without any repercussions from law enforcement is beyond me. But in the course of me researching this topic, I found Portland to be a hotbed for political activism due to its very liberal culture, much like states in the South who are known for being racist due to their very conservative culture. I'm not saying all conservatives are racist, but if you're racist, you're probably a conservative. Anyway, one of the biggest concerns I have regarding the city of Portland and Antifa is the lack of action taken towards Antifa by the police, which leads me to the mayor, Mr. Ted Wheeler, who, strangely enough, is also the police commissioner, which to me seems like at least a major conflict of interest. Elected officials like a mayor are voted on by political identities. So if you're elected mayor and subsequently made police commissioner, your political ideology should never dictate how your city is policed. Laws are laws, and whether you're liberal or conservative, a city's mayor should not be in a position to enforce his ideology onto local police force. But in Portland, this is very much the case. And the main reason I'm bringing this to your attention is because Antifa poses a bigger threat than mainstream media will tell you. The more the coverage of the impact of Antifa has on politics is downplayed, the easier it will become mainstream popular, much like the alt-right. Now, the alt-right is basically a mainstream buttoned-up combination of the Nazis and the KKK. Far-right conservatives realize that if their propaganda was ever going to have any real political impact, they would have to distance themselves from the violent extreme history of the Nazis and the KKK. Thus, the rise of the alt-right. Thus, the rise of the alt-right. Basically, the alt-right is a more palatable, racist, nationalist political ideology that has influence that can reach a much broader audience. And this is what I'm afraid will happen on the left when it comes to Antifa. The more they are allowed to operate freely and downplayed as if they're just a small group of people causing a little trouble. I mean, before you know it, we will have a far left movement in the Democratic Party that will take over the way Trump took over the Republicans. And sure, maybe Antifa will cross the line one day and Democrats will disavow their existence. But trust me, this is not their final form. As soon as they realize that they need to mainstream their leftist ideology, they will form a more buttoned up group that can reach a much broader audience and gain real political momentum. Most members of Antifa are part anarchist, communist, and socialist. All in their purest forms are terrible. What I'm hoping that this story will do is help you, the viewer, understand that just because the other side has an extremist group that makes a lot of noise and scares you, doesn't mean that you should join or sympathize with an opposing group that is just as extreme or dangerous. That's how countries descend into chaos. Even civil war. Now, I'm still a young man, but I have never seen this country in such divisiveness in my life. And the last thing we should be doing is contributing to radicalism by joining extremist groups for the specific reason of causing fear, causing the same fear that you feel yourself. What I'm trying to say is that you need to have your own ideas. Don't look for a group to join or some kind of safe space to reaffirm your own bullshit. You need to challenge yourself. Challenge your ideals you hold. Make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong. Just realize when you're wrong. Challenge your opinions. Understand that there's no group, person, or ideology that has all the answers. Use your logic. Don't be a fucking asshole. And above all, be your own person. And with that being said, my favorite part of the show, Ella of the Week. Oh my God, bro. This fucking airplane douche. That's what we're gonna call this man. So today's L of the Week goes to airplane douche. Can we run that video back? This is so gross. I mean, this is who we are as a people in the society where you think it's okay to use your feet on something other people are gonna use. It's so terrible. I don't know that guy's name. I don't want to. So we're just gonna name him Airplane Douche. So I'm giving you this right here, bro, because that's fucking disgusting. Now every time, thanks to you, I ride a plane, I gotta fucking think about if the last person was using their dirty ass feet on this tablet that I want to watch a movie on. Fuck, man. Great job. So, airplane douche, this is yours today. And with that being said, that concludes another episode of The Issue Live. Thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. You know, I'm having a lot of fun today. Feeling good. I hope you guys did as well. And with that being said, we have another debate coming soon. So be ready for that. Be ready for another special episode. And stay out of trouble, kids. I'll see you next week.
What about command? They just left us? You nuts. What the hell? I've got a bad feeling about this. Hold it!